a feeling it's going to be pretty much the same thing, and I just control one single character. But that would probably help a bit with the multitasking now that I think about it. I'm a big fan of Endless Space as well. I'm actually going to start on 2 easy, mostly because I want to unlock all these different characters. If I remember correctly, is it this guy? Yeah, my favorite combination is having him and her. I'm going to have to double check his skills. There's actually another character you can unlock later that I am a big fan of, but it's usually pretty solid like so. Ah, good, it still loads quickly. Let me just check his skills. Attack power 6% when their mates are nearby. So this is actually the opposite of what I wanted. There's another hero who also uses a machine gun, and he uh, gets a bonus if he's by himself in a room. And you're probably going to end up seeing in this very run, in fact, why it is that that sort of thing is useful. Um, Defense 10%. Yeah, I don't know what it means when they say others they trust. It might mean that if you hire someone and you haven't gone through enough floors with them or rooms or something like that, there's a trust mechanic, but I've never seen anything like it. Well, the frame rate's dipping on this a bit. Alright. So, if you've never played this game before, you're trying to make it through this dungeon, and you sort of have turns, as it were. Every time you open a door is a turn. And my strategy for success, generally speaking, has been I go through and I want to make sure that I'm generating about 20 industry a turn. Once I have that, then I'm usually pretty good to go. Now, at this point, the key to success here is to try to open as many doors in a row as you can to create the longest path back to your crystal so that you have the most time to respond to any individual threats. And this is important because while I'm able to light up all these rooms now, I'm not going to be able to light them up forever. So I'm going to need to go through at least 2 more doors before I can actually activate another industry producer. So that's there. So I've got 28. I'm going to activate this room. And this is the map, by the way. You can zoom in and zoom out. Green rooms are stuff where I have a module place, and blue rooms are just rooms that are lit. So we're going to keep creating the longest line possible. Nuts. Okay, well at least we got a little extra dust on that. I'm going to light that room up just so it doesn't spawn enemies, because only darkened rooms can spawn enemies. And I will put a industrial module there. And I can still... Oh, this room's self-powered. Excellent. Now, next room I can open would be sufficient for me to put in another industrial spot. And I hate to delay for so long, but actually this isn't so terrible. So here's what we're going to do. Industrial here. And if I'm lucky, there will be some dust generated by this room, but I'm not counting on it. Yeah. Whole lot of nothing. Okay, so at this point, because she's so quick, I'm going to send her off by herself. Even though this room isn't lit because he's here, you won't have any chance for monsters to spawn is what I'm just getting at. Now, what I really want is Industry Generator 2. And it takes about 3 doors generally for research to go through, and I'm so close I'm just going to wait on it. Because the next thing I'm definitely getting... oh, and actually, I can power this room now. Next thing I'm definitely getting is food replicators. Food is really vital in terms of being able to level up your heroes. It's also pretty vital because sometimes you're going to need to heal them if they're facing some pretty overwhelming odds. The more doors you open, the more tough enemies are, and the more that will spawn in any given room. So I'm going to choose to go left using the left-hand rule. And that is the exit. which is both fortunate and unfortunate. So I'm going to leave him in here. Enemies can spawn over here, so that's the last door of the dungeon. That is actually extremely unfortunate. But the bonus industry is very useful. So the only thing that I can do now, send her back here. As soon as I pick up this crystal, I am going to end up activating the end sequence for the level. So he's going to be here because monsters would be spawning here and here, like so. And I want him to take them out before they can get to Sarah, who's carrying the crystal. And now I'm going to send him and her in here. Heroes are all ready. I'm out. Oh, cool! There's an elevator sequence before. This wasn't in the alpha, so this is the end score screen, obviously. So that now we actually know how many floors there were. Before it was a total mystery. Not name, way of life. Secrets unlocked in biographies. Cool. I actually really like the characterization of the people in this. The sense of humor that they have is really quite excellent. Okay, so now we're on floor 2, which is always going to be displayed here, and I will go south. I usually don't have a lot of luck going south, and that is holding true. No dust in the first room, and no module. So I'm actually, unless this has a module, which it does, and it's and it is taken over by this. So I'm going to activate for industry, and we're going to keep going south. So unless this is going to be a really painful run, I can already tell. Alright, I'm just going to take Sarah and leave him here. Oh man, this is just getting worse and worse. Alright, move him forward and have her check the door. And I have her do that because she's quick, so if there's too much in here for her to handle, she's going to retreat back to him. So, that's interesting. Oops. Backpack. What is this? Knowledge is good. I don't know. Who already has the highest wit? 5 and 2. So, clearly, I'll just put it on her. It kind of doesn't matter. Plus 2 wit. Incidentally, wit as a mechanic provides a bonus to manipulating modules. You can actually leave a hero in a room with a module, which actually happens a lot more frequently than you would think. And I'm gonna leave Gorky right here. His name is still Gorky, right? Yeah, Gork. Fine. Anyways, I'm leaving him here. He can see this room. This room he can't see, but that means he'll only have to deal with the spawnings from one particular room. So I finished up the industrial module, which is fantastic. Ooh, that's nice. I can't afford anything in here, and I also am not making enough industry or research for it to really matter, so I'm just going to do more exploration. So we're going to go left. Whenever you get lost in a building, always go to the left, and you... I see the game has taken small pity on me. I'm going to send Sarah down here to help out Gork. Anyways, the game has taken a small amount of pity on me because it has provided me with a self-powered room, even though it's not providing me with any dust. I really hope... And then... Crud. This is not working out at all. 2, 1 stay here. There we go. And I'm going to activate Killer Instinct so I don't have to deal with it. Fortunately, nothing else got depowered, but I lost a lot of dusts in that whole shenanigan. Alright, I actually have a fair bit of food at the moment. So, I'm going to level her up. And again... Okay, perfect. I knew from the alpha that she at some point gets repaired. This is in fact why I chose her specifically. Um, for him, it's only 25. I'm not going to level him up again just yet, but at least he's at 2. And their DPS is really not good. His is way better, but she'll catch up to him if she gets an item and he does not. So in the meantime, I'm going to send him back down here so that he can camp that out. And if I get any further dust, I'm mostly just going to try to generate fill this room because I've and that's the exit. Seriously? This is such a strange floor. I almost want to try skipping the entire floor and just go for it because it's such a risk to have so much creep generation. I could just depower this, power this, have Gork sit here, or here actually most likely, and then have Sarah try to run through. I don't think I'm going to do that. Well, I am going to power that room up because I desperately need the additional generation of resources. Get my industry in place. Now, I don't want to open this door just yet, and the reason for that is I'm already going to have a bad time with stuff trying to come through there, so I'm going to put in a few prisoner prods with the hope that that is going to hold off anything until Gork can get there. He's super slow. That's why I'm investigating with Sarah in the first place. So now, I'm going to move her back into this room so that she can help with any investigation. I'm going to power this. I hate to do it. It's frankly quite a waste. But I don't want anything else coming from that direction. Which actually is such a waste, because now I have all those turrets that aren't doing anything. Oh, well, at least I can start research on that. Okay, so now that now that that's dead, those particular monsters, little, I don't know what to call them, beetles? Whatever they are, they tend to prioritize heroes, while the beetles tend to prioritize individual modules. So now that I actually have an additional room that I can power, I'm going to go in here and check this out, and it totally paid off. Toothpick. Unfortunately, no one uses that. She uses a sword, and that is a spear. So I'm going to put some food in there, mostly because I want to feel less bad about doing that. 0.2 food. Okay, well that's going to help matters a little bit. So anyways, let's go up here. Namor. Once the prisoner prod pop-up disappears, I'm definitely going to risk this. Having more heroes is always better. I'm a little surprised he's not level 3. Usually they're the same level as your heroes, or at least the same level as your minimum, the minimum level of your heroes, which is 3. So anyways, I don't care. Ceremonial sword, so he's going to share the same type of weapon as her. I'm actually going to move this over to him, just because he already has such high wit in the first place. His DPS is almost the same as hers, and which means it's not that great. So we're going to leave Gork there to defend because his DPS is higher. Try checking that room out. So I will power that, and then have everyone move here to defend. Perfect. That was very close. I hate it when those runners escape. Okay, we're doing a lot better now. The extra DPS from Nanor is it is Nanor, right? I presume. Anyways, it really helps out because it makes, between the two of them, they're ever so slightly more effective than Gork. Okay, so now I can activate... You know... I don't know, send them here. See, part of my struggle here is if I disable those and enable down here, then eventually I can have... That was a close one. Anyways, eventually I can send Gork into this area and then have him just defend this wing instead of sort of trying to defend 2 points at once. But the benefit here is that I'm going to actually get access to one additional module slot. And unfortunately, because we are so low on food from having picked up Nanor... oh, that reminds me, one of the other just quick minor things. When you discover a hero for the first time, if they survive through 3 floors with you, then you actually unlock them permanently, and you can select them in that early screen with the crash module. So, anyways, so I'm really eager to keep him around and alive just for that reason. Man, this is so frustrating. This has just not been a good floor. And it's actually about to get worse because unless we get an additional dust when we open this up, we're going to have to be defending against 3 different directions, and that is going to drive me crazy. What on earth do I do? Alright, send everyone down here to help him out, and activate his Killer Instinct. Psycho Killer. Just going to watch his health bar. His health bar will expand if he gets low enough in health that I really, really need to pay attention. And there's no runner. Okay, good. So, this is so annoying. I think what I have to do is just enable that exclusively because I can't defend up here as well. So I'm going to actually activate industry because we are not generating... I was letting us run at a small deficit, and hopefully my strategy still carries over and they didn't sort of change the strategy and I need more than 20 industry. Every time you create a module, the cost to do so goes up, and it goes up a lot more rapidly than your different modules will generate at first. So it's pretty important to get that bank of industry set aside that you can use, and thank God for a self-powered room. I mean, seriously. And I'm also going to run them all down here to help out Gork. And I'm going to send Sarah specifically here to take him out. And then I'll send her back to join here. Actually, I'm going to send her straight to the... There. That was close. His starting room is attack power for Last Supper. Last Supper actually used to be a hit point regeneration ability. So, I think what I'm going to do is... How do I want to do this? There's just no good options on this floor. But that's great, because it's frankly a lot more challenging in that way. But at least we're not at a point where I have to worry that we're going to just die at this rate. Suppressive Firebot. Anything that adds like bonuses to heroes in the same room, I pretty much never use, with a few exceptions. Like there's one that provides healing to a hero in the same room, especially if they like kill additional units or something like that. So those are really beneficial just for keeping things up. But the percentage bonus usually doesn't really mean much early on until you get, you know, weapons in place and people's DPS is a lot higher than it is right now. Okay, so this is the last floor of the dungeon. I'm going to activate Last Supper because I don't want them to go down. And I also don't want to send Gork up. I assume he's not fighting anything. I just unlocked a new picture in my album. Dungeon Monsters Group 2 Non-Humanoid Locals. Interesting. Shame that they didn't name them, but that's okay. Okay, that's the last door in the dungeon. So one of the other things worth mentioning. So you can see all these different doors. Um, I built this module right here to provide me with 20 when I open this door. And by doing so, I have hurt myself kind of significantly because I spent 45 to do it. So I'm actually at a deficit. And one of the things that happens is as you start opening things up, when you have a door, before you build any module, and this is what I frankly should have done, is you should consider how many doors are left to open. Because if you have additional doors and you have 2 doors and you're generating 20 apiece, that's 40. You can, that's almost the same as what you had. So I hope that's clear. I'm gonna enable that. I'm going to disable these two. Oh, that room is powered by Mysterious Force. Send Sarah here. Enable that and that and that. So now I've created a buffer zone to take me straight to the exit. She'll be slowed by the crystal, but I should still be able to get everybody in here before any of the monsters ever get close to her. Nice and easy. Ooh, I actually want to see that. Lives up to her doubt I can turn her. Too bad. I know where I've seen you. You were on the K Hotel, weren't you? Goodfoot, let's see. Okay. Interesting. So it encourages a lot of different combinations if you care about the story at the very least. Okay. Left hand rule. I see Dungeons of the Endless has decided to be a bit more merciful this time around. Oops. Sorry about that. I just wanted to check something on my stream, make sure everything was okay. All right. So now another industry. Keep everyone moving forward. And it's powered by Mysterious Force. Works for me. And now we're at 20. This is really, really ideal. Less so, but still fine. Now, I don't really want the shop, nor do I mean, Claymore Mine is good. But what I most want is like the primary modules, industry, food, science, upgraded. So I think I'm going to reset the research, and that was totally not worth it. But frankly, and now I don't have a choice anymore. However, Prisoner Prod 3 and bioorganic transference. This is the item I was telling you about. You can build in rooms. It's great for Gork because you can just put him in a room, throw down some of those transference, and then add 1 or 2 things that are independent turrets, like a prisoner prod or something, and he will do pretty dang well when it comes to defending himself. And send him here. Those crystals also try to rush the power crystal in the center. However, they are nowhere near as fast as the bug-like running creatures. Yes. I don't feel so bad about powering that room now. And actually, that is pretty dang good. So everything back here is completely powered, so I don't even have to worry about it. I just want to send Sarah over here real quick because I can't remember what the cost was to research. So 23 at minimum, and I'm actually fine with spending for 23. So we'll send everybody to here. I don't click on the door because different Kiros are faster than each other. So I don't want them to open the door and not have someone ready to rush in and fight. Lucky Rabbit's Foot. Bonus hit points. Since he's the person that's generally going to be defending us, 75 hit points really isn't a lot, but I'm just going to throw it on him because, and, you know, whatever. So, don't want to open that, but I'm going to actually... No, I'm going to open this. If I can get the additional dust, then I'll go back and investigate that location. Okay, that's not enough additional dust to power, so Gork is going to be here to defend. These two are going forward. I want to know what those are, but I also don't want to give away my Steam name just yet. Kill off all these, and then we'll go back and help Gork with the crystals. Perfect. Alright, so now that we've got that room powered, I will... Food replicator. Now, with 134, I can, without feeling guilty, level him up. Heal cost is reduced. The heal cost I've never seen it get to double digits, so I feel a little about that particular skill, so whatever. But since there are tenths of a point and we can't even see them, I guess I'll just go with it. Grouped with others they trust. And he has knowledge is good, which, whatever. Clash of Heroes with Gork. Oh, so it actually updates the bio directly here. That's interesting. And I just chose the two because they worked well in my particular needs. So, creating the longest hallway possible is over. That's as long as it can get. Fortunately, shopkeepers don't tend to result in monster spawning that I've ever seen. And unfortunately, this particular guy deals in science. Now, I can sell this toothpick for 6, which will mostly cover the rapier. I can't get any of these, though. And the A Thing is actually pretty good. Attack cooldown does a lot more for you than you'd think. And the scope, I don't really care for. I'm just going to get the rapier. I am going to put it on him, I guess. I don't know. It'll bring his DPS up. It's whatever. Anyways. Oh, and just to round out my thought process here. So, attack power and attack cooldown really make a huge difference. Like, her attack power is overall lower, but with her attack cooldown, she attacks more frequently. So, actually, technically, it's probably better to put it on her, since she will attack more frequently. And then her DPS becomes 50 instead of whatever it was with him. I don't remember. And actually, maybe it makes a difference. Let me just check that real quick. 39. Yeah, it really needs to go on here. See what I'm talking about when I said the attack cooldown really makes a difference? Especially when it's already low-ish like it is on her. So I'm going to go north here. And then activate that. And then head in here. You know what? I'm just going to pull everybody back to Gorky. That's fine. Prisoner prod. It'll be slow to produce, but it'll come in time. Defend, 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 defend. Okay, so I'm going to put prisoner prods here, because this is kind of my fallback point anyways. And you know, I said I was going to open this door up when I had the dust. I could do it now. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. Pays off. I'm going to come in here. Send Sarah here to deal with him. And any other crystals that come through. And then I'm going to activate Killer Instinct to help him blow through those enemies quicker. Perfect. Okay. So she's repaired everything. We've activated that room. We can activate 2 more rooms now, which is incredible. We have discovered... Wait, there's an extra door past the exit? Oh, crap. Alright, I'm going to leave Gork here. And then send the other heroes down to here. Now, before I do anything, let me just do a quick assessment here. We have 3 doors. At 20 apiece is 60, which means I can definitely afford an additional module. I really, really should afford an additional science module, because I haven't built any of those yet, and I'm really lagging behind in them. I'm not able to take advantage of things like I want to. So let's head through here. And there's yet another door past here. That is not good. Gork is also going to have his word cut out for him. I actually didn't need to heal her, but oh well. Kind of wish I could activate his Psycho Killer ability. Looks like he doesn't need it, though. So, this is kind of unfortunate, because I really want to activate that additional room down here. Oops. There. I don't have the dust to guarantee that something's going to come out of this. So before I activate it, I want to make sure I spend. Well, actually, I want to hold off on spending. An item room. Okay. Alright, everybody get your butts up here to help Gork. At least I can activate Psycho Killer for him again, and I'm going to need to in about a second. I think he's actually going to... Wow, without even needing a heal. I'm impressed. Since I'm leaving him alone, I'm going to make him first to be leveled up. Which really doesn't help his DPS that much, but, you know, is what it is. So now I've got the situation I really didn't want, which is I'm going to have to activate this room and not activate this room. Which means monsters can spawn directly in front of him, which creates a lot more pressure on him. What to do, what to do. Oh, first things first, I gotta activate this. I never did. 26 additional dust. I really wish that this guy ended up taking dust as currency instead of science, but literally nothing I can do about it. Activate additional attack damage in this room. Ooh, that was close. She can repair these. Cool. I actually really want to see what that is. Fast distance attack. Keep it away from major mods. Good idea to run. Okay. Wow, I got a ton of dust from that. Wow, did I get a ton of dust from that. Okay, so I've activated all that. I only have one more door to open, so it's not worth it to invest in another module. Oh, I love Hipster Scarf. In fact, I am very quickly going to equip it to him because it makes all monsters aggro to him, which means that unless they have area of effect attacks, they don't target modules or anybody else. Because it also provides a huge amount of defense, which is a benefit. It used to provide some bonus hit points as well, I think, but I guess they decided against that. I don't want to activate any level ups. Oops. Okay. That's fine. I do want to check. I kind of just want to get shop out of the way. Now, one of the other things worth mentioning, normally it takes like, what, three doors to get a bit of research done. The benefit here is that if this is the last door on the level, then it will just finish. It doesn't screw you over and try to continue next level. It just finishes. So it is beneficial. Totally worth it. So the shop's been unlocked instantly. So we're going to send everybody in here to defend again. Take a few hit points worth of damage. He's actually not getting attacked, which is kind of a benefit, but I'm leaving him on this floor anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, and while we're fighting here, I'm going to equip her with the Iron Shield because it adds a little defense for when she's on her own. Sarah sure is being chatty down here. Okay, you're going to move into position here. You two are just going to go straight for this room because no way is any monster actually going to be able to stop her from carrying it all the way to the exit. And she's ever so slightly going to outrun Gorky there. Gork. I'm never going to get used to that. All heroes are ready. We're out of here. Secrets. Ooh. I kind of feel slightly bad that Nanora is completely left out of all conversation for these guys. Thanks so much for joining me for Dungeons